Hey guys, this video is going to show you how to diagnose and see if you have a bad lower control arm ball joint on a 2007 to 2013 half-ton Silverado. I haven't found any videos on YouTube, and I just figured out what my problem was, so I figured I'd share it. Hopefully it helps somebody else out. But basically the problem is I just changed the front struts out, the rear shocks. I added change out the stabilizer link. The rubber was pretty old. Mine's a 2007 with about 100,000 miles on it. I put a 2-inch leveling kit. That's what this is, a rough country leveling kit. And I pulled the struts out. I already changed those out. This is about 2 weeks ago, and I noticed that there was still kind of like a rumbling. Like a knocking almost. It only happens whenever you're going really any speed, but any kind of pothole or rough patch of road you hit, it feels like it's vibrating. It's kind of hard to explain, but you can tell it's coming from the front suspension. And what I did is I elevated the tire a little bit. First thing I did is to make sure that all the bolts that I had taken apart, like right here for the strut, these two, I made sure they were torqued down. And I also made sure that the 3 on the outside, and there's actually one in the center here that hold the strut to the actual strut mount. Let's see if you can see it. It's kind of hard to get in there, but there's 3 on the outside and 1 in the center. And I just made sure all those were torqued to spec, so I knew that wasn't my problem. So what I did is jacked up the lower control arm on the lower control arm to get all the weight off of it, to help compress the strut and the spring, to kind of isolate that, to make sure that wasn't the rattling. I was pretty sure it's not the upper control arm, because normally if you have it elevated like this and you shake the tire and there's any movement side to side, that's usually your upper control arm, and that's the ball joint. And this, you know, can expect to hear you to take the strut out and everything to change it out. But you can see, hopefully, there's no noise when I shake the tire. So it's just the truck moving around. But to be able to tell if you got a bad, so I'm pretty sure that the upper control arm ball joint's still good. But when I change the lower, I'm going to go ahead and change them out both. But this is just the extension that comes to jack up the truck with. It's in the back of the truck. You can use it. But what you want to do, you want to be careful. You don't want to puncture this gasket at all, because if your ball joint's still good, you don't want to damage that, and that'll actually let dirt and everything in. And eventually, over time, it's just going to wear the ball joint out quicker, because dirt and everything's going to get into it. So you want to just take this and come up here behind on top side. I don't know if you can see. It's kind of hard to get in there. But you want to kind of wedge it down in there so you can get it between. That's a good spot right there. Okay, I'm going to try to hold the camera steady. And you just want to pry. You want to pry out like that. You can kind of hear it right there. Let's see, this is the movement that you're getting. It's not a lot. Actually, it is a lot, but it'll be hard to miss, but that's not supposed to happen. And when you do it quick, that's the same noise that you hear kind of in the cabin. Like that. That's about what it sounds like when you're going down the road, but it's a little more muffled because you're inside the cabin. But there's not supposed to be any movement like that. See that up and down movement? Try to get it in focus. Yeah. Hopefully you can see that pretty well. But that's a bad lower ball joint. Now you don't have to replace the whole lower control arm. You can just, I mean, of course you have to take the wheel, probably take the strut out and the stabilizer link and all that. And probably take this whole piece out, like dismantle the brake caliper and everything. Unattach the ball joint. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to look up some videos how to change it exactly. But I think I've read you actually have to have an air chisel to chisel this top lip out. And I think you can rent the part from AutoZone Usually, like, you just go to AutoZone and they'll debit you use a credit card or pay cash or whatever you want, and you rent the tool from them. As long as you bring the tool back in working condition, they refund you all your money. So you get a free tool to do it. I guess that's where I usually buy my stuff off of Amazon, like the parts, and then I'll go to AutoZone or something just to get the tool. But there's no issue with it. They don't have a problem, and it works great. And I think after you loosen, it looks like after you loosen that outer edge out, you'll have to. It's like a ball press, and you'll have to press the old one out and press the new one in. So you're gonna have to have a tool for that, I'm pretty sure, unless you could use air chisel. I'm gonna have to figure it out. But so that's the problem. I just wanted to show everybody that. That's what that little thumping noise is when you're driving down the road. I'm not gonna check the driver's side. I'm gonna go ahead and just order the 2 new parts and change them both out. But yeah. So also I wanted to let y'all know, if you want to go ahead and change your struts and shocks out, you can rent the strut compression tool at AutoZone too. But if you want to get the original struts and shocks for like the rear, I changed my shocks out too. I'll include a link in the description for the AC Delco website, and you just go and type in your VIN number. And once you type your VIN number in, there's a whole list of different parts you can buy from them, or you can actually look up the part number. You can't buy it from them, but once you get the part number, you can Google it, and it'll come up at Amazon or any other places. But basically, AC Delco has 3 different types of parts that they'll sell you, and you'll see listed on that site when you type in your VIN number. It'll be let's see, it'll be OEM is the best one you can get. Professional is the second best, and I believe like Advantage is under that, and then Duralast is like last. But if you can buy OEM struts and shocks, I suggest you do that. Like, I mean, I got 100,000 out of mine for the shocks. At least that's how long I waited to change them. The same thing, I changed the brakes. I got the OEM brakes and everything too from that website, and you can find them pretty cheap on Amazon too. So I would recommend doing that. But with your struts and shocks, when you do look them up, you're going to see a bunch of different listings and stuff, like a bunch of different listed struts, and they'll have usually a 3-digit code next to them. And you're going to have to go in your glove box, and it's always usually right here is this left sticker. It'll have all these codes listed. I believe mine's like Z85, and you'll just have to find which one is listed next to the strut and match it up. Just take a picture of your RPO codes, and when you're on the computer, you can see which ones you have on here to know what your suspension is on your truck that it came from the factory. And so you match this number up, whatever one it is, with the strut on the AC Delco website. And usually it's only going to be one. You'll just follow a light description, but hopefully you can figure that out. It's not too bad. But just use these codes, that way you can figure it out. And that way you can get the OEM shocks and struts. And I think I got the rear shocks for like $100 a piece. And I forget how much the struts were, but to me, if you can get OEM, I would go with that. But yeah, hopefully this helps you out. I might do a video changing it. It's kind of hard with one person, but hopefully that helps you guys out. Appreciate it.